Oh hey, welcome to the video. Melissa, I write books. This is going to be just a few brief days in my life writing, rewriting, rewriting a book. I'm starting this clip. I'm about to live stream with Andy and Brielle in 4 minutes, but nobody else is in the studio yet, so I decided might as well. It's Monday night, and I think I'll probably do 2 or 3 days. My goal is to do 2 chapters a day. We're starting off strong because I haven't written it all yet and it's 5 p.m. But maybe I can do 2. Today might be easier though because I have like half of 1 chapter and then a second chapter that I could probably do, and so we'll count that as 2. But what I'm working off of, if you didn't see my last video, is these scene cards that I made. For each scene I have like a little 4 little sentences written out about what happens in the scene. So I have like the orientation of the scene, like where are we, what's going on, then the disruption that kind of launches the scene into action, then I have the reaction, which is like how the character deals with the disruption, right? And then the conclusion, so either maybe like a little plot twist at the end or a little like I'm deciding to do this with this information. It doesn't fit cleanly into every single scene, but it gives me like that foundational, like something needs to happen in each scene, not just, we can't just keep having random conversations about nothing. So that's what I'm working off of, because all these new scenes that I'm about to write are new. The first half of this book, I had very solid scenes to work off of. The second half, not so much. There might be a few more chapters coming up that I have a lot to work with, but that will end very soon. I think probably actually the next 2 chapters I have a pretty decent start, but yes. If you're wanting to know like more about where I'm at with this project, what's going on, feel free to check out my last like 2 videos. So yeah, let's get streaming. Still nobody's here. Hello. I looked up how to write a scene on Reddit, and then everybody was yelling at me, telling me I didn't even type anything, but they were all like, you should know how to write a scene if you've read a book. But then a helpful person said each scene has like the orientation of where oh, hey. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to Barnes & Noble. It's like 8 p.m. I don't do this. I don't go to the house after 8 p.m., but sometimes you just gotta exercise your free will. Sometimes you just gotta say, I'm going out of the house and I'm buying a thesaurus, you know? At this writing retreat I was at last week, prepare to be sick of me, I'm talking about this. One of the things he mentioned was like, don't be afraid to use a thesaurus. Like, you don't have to just rely on you knowing a bunch of words, you know? And I've been feeling like my line level prose is like terrible. So I'm gonna go buy like a really nice thesaurus and like have it sit on my desk. And he even said like, don't just use it for finding synonyms, but use it for going to the sections in the thesaurus that are like hearing and seeing and around the town. Like there are different sections in thesauruses that have different words like related to a topic. And so yeah, I'm gonna go buy one. I'm excited. The wedding I DJ'd a few weeks ago, I was tipped purely in Barnes & Noble gift cards, which is the only way to do it, frankly. So I'm gonna go and use that. I am kind of stuck in this chapter. I know what happens, I know where it goes, but because I just kind of replotted and just started thinking about how their emotional arcs go a little bit differently in terms of the romance, the scene is just like, I'm just having a little trouble placing where exact, like his mind frame, like it seems like Eli is like kind of doing a 180 from one chapter to the next, and I just need to make it feel more organic, and I think there's a way to do it. I just need to actually write the scene. I am like halfway through it and I just am avoiding it. So in order to avoid it further, Barnes & Noble, Thesaurus. And then I do hope I would like to finish writing this scene tonight and just really think about where his arc is. I just need to really motivate his change of mind. Anyway, let's go to Barnes & Noble. Are you ready for the haul of a lifetime? The looks I got from this woman at the Barnes & Noble. First off, I got a little 500 piece puzzle. Stop judging me. Okay, then I got, this is what I got instead of a thesaurus. It is sort of a thesaurus, but it's called the well-spoken thesaurus, and instead of having it for words, it's for common phrases. So like, for example, this is a little bit, and then it has all these different ways to say a little bit. I think I do have like a regular thesaurus at my house too, so. Then I got the police officer exam for dummies test booklet. I'm not becoming a police officer, but I am gonna do this because I feel like it's gonna give me good motivation for characters and also just good knowledge. Is this a grammar section of the police? So some of it's about the specific test that you take, but some of them are like practice questions. I'm so curious. It's only like 20 bucks. I also feel like this is gonna make me depressed. And then the final thing I got was in the romance section, and it's called The Takedown, which is he wants to take her out, she wants to take him down, undercover CIA agent investigating her sister's criminal fiance, and he has a bodyguard who's sexy. It's a rom-com thriller, everyone, but it's a romance. So, whatever. If you don't know why I'm annoyed about this, go watch the genre crash out from last week. Let's go home and finish this stupid chapter. I need to finish it. Okay? Let's go finish the chapter together! It is Wednesday morning, and as Tuesdays always do, they slip away from me. I'm well-intentioned, I have ideas. No, I did actually write for a good probably hour yesterday at the coffee shop, and I finished one chapter and started the next, but we're behind, but that's okay. I also am going to the dentist this morning, which is great. You don't care. But today I do plan to do quite a lot of writing, hopefully. I am gonna do some writing with some friends this afternoon, I think, and then like later afternoon. And then also we're doing some writing sprints with the people from the retreat I was at a few weeks last week, cause that already last week. Wild. But yeah, so 2 different times to write. I don't know, I'm on chapter 21, I think, and I'm at the point now where I need to stop thinking so much and just start writing the scenes because I have already done the thinking. I know that sounds like, Alyssa, shouldn't you be thinking when you write? Yes, but also no, okay? I've done the thinking. I have the board, I have the note cards, I have where each scene goes. I just need to write them. And yes, if something comes up it's not like, I think there's a difference because when you're writing a scene and if you're thinking while you're, like, obviously you're going to be thinking when you're writing the scene. It's less that I need to stop being critical about it. It's more so I need to stop letting the thinking about it stop me from writing. I feel like I need to just sit down and write 2 chapters a day. And if I start being like, ooh, I don't know if it's going in the right I know it's going in the right direction because I plotted it out and I know that's where it's going. And maybe it is the wrong direction, but I won't actually know that until I actually write the scene. I'm deciding if it's going in the right direction before I even write the scene, and that's not productive for anybody. So I just need to do it. Like last week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I did write for an hour, but it was doing plotting and note cards and all this stuff. And so that's only 3 days, but I need to write the scenes again. So yeah, getting back into the habit of getting up early. I just need to get back into my habits of writing at the same time so that I actually do. Yeah. I don't have much to update because I haven't written much, to be honest. Okay. It's later in the day. It's like noon-ish. And you might have forgotten that I actually do work a job. So, we're doing a little bit of video editing, but I figured it's a day in my life, days in my life. I should probably show you this. I mean, I'm not gonna actually show you anything because I feel like there's probably some sort of confidentiality where I'm not supposed to do that, but that is what I'm gonna be doing here. So it brings in the big bucks. I also, my mouth is half numb because of the dentist.
Vitamins and history books, psychology and a different way to look at it all. 'Cause my perspective is broken. If suffering's a way to earn your keep, I better start putting miles on my feet. But I'm so tired of wandering. Yeah, I'm lost, but I'm living. Yeah, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven?
Hey there, you're getting a rare 11 p.m. update from me, which I don't do. I go to bed at 9:30, but since coming back from the retreat, I've been not getting up early as easily. And so I had that, we did some writing sprints with the group from the retreat, which was really fun to see everybody again, or some people again. And we did 235s, which was good. I got about 1,200 words in then. And then Brielle and I just did some writing sort of later, like starting around 9. And we did literally just one 35-minute sprint, but that was good too. So total for the day, I think, is around 2,000. And I really love that scene. I'm pulling out some speculative elements. I don't know what's going on, but this scene especially is like one of my favorites of the book, and it was nice to write a scene that I actually feel good about. So, the last scene in Eli's POV, it's just like, it's just bad. It's fine, but it literally, it's like that scene is what is on the page, and it's doing nothing else. Like, there's no intrigue, there's no subtext, it's just like, here's the conversation they're happening and there it is. And I just want it to be doing more. I don't know, I might go back to it tomorrow, but I might also just keep pushing forward. Tomorrow we're planning on writing quite a bit. And I'm just kind of leaning into like, I can just write in the afternoon and evening if that's what's working right now. Like I go through phases where I'm writing a lot at 6 a.m. and I go through phases where I'm writing a lot during the day and during the evening. And I think right now this week, I have a couple mornings, gotten up, gone to a coffee shop, gotten some writing done. But I'm just kind of counting as a transition week to get back into schedule. And there's nothing like better about writing at 6 a.m. than writing at night. And so it's just weird to be up this late. I just typically am not. But I'm on I just finished chapter 21. Actually, I probably have a few more sentences left. And then, believe it or not, in chapter 22, my characters are actually going to meet and talk for the first time. I know that you're judging, and that's okay. And I already am kind of thinking about a bit of a restructure of the beginning, but we're not doing that for this draft. I'm just thinking about how I can maybe have them meet earlier in the book, but right now, this is what's happening. This is when they're actually going to have a conversation. And I want to be clear, he's met her, and they have met each other, and they've actually spent most of the book together, but she just doesn't know it. I have my work cut out for me, everybody. That scene is feeling really good. I feel like she's not in a solid place. She's in a bad place, but she is where I want her to be. Putty in my hands. So I'm gonna go to bed and I will see you in the morning, maybe. I'm gonna see what time, I'm gonna set my alarm, but we'll see what time, what am I doing? We'll see what time I actually end up waking up, and maybe I'll squeeze in a quick 30 before I go to work, but stay tuned on that one. Hey, I'm waiting for these people to get on the Zoom call. About end of the workday on Thursday, and I am about to jump into some sprinty sprint. This is the only way I write now. I don't know if that's a problem, but this is how I live. And I don't really know what to expect coming up in this next chunk of scenes. Like, I'm really getting into the unknown territory. This scene, with the exception of the literal midpoint, this scene is one of the last clear scenes I actually have. So from here, we gotta look at these cards and read the cards. I did that scene too, okay. We have this scene. Next I have 22. Oh, this is gonna get dicey. That's a crazy scene. What? What? Pack it up. What? I can't talk to you about what's happening in this scene because now we're like in the meat of it now. I can't be spilling all my guts to you. But this scene's got a lot going on. I'm excited about it, actually. It's a high action scene. I haven't had a high action scene in this book for like, I don't know, we were in the denouement after like a lot of high action scenes, and now we're into another one, which is exciting. Like, a lot's actually going on externally in this scene, which is nice. This whole next section though is so dicey. This is when they're actually gonna meet. I'm actually kind of afraid to put them on the same page together, like, and have a conversation, because you're gonna hear this and you're gonna say, Alyssa, what are you talking about? In the whole first draft of this book, they don't talk to each other. They don't talk to each other. He talks to her and she talks to him, but they don't talk to each other. And I literally, like, in the plot, yes, but I just skipped over all the scenes where they actually get to know each other and wrote the ending based on the assumption that we're bought into them as a couple. So now I have to do the actual work. It's feeling like I don't know these characters very well, but I think I do know them very well. I know how they interact with everyone in their circle, but I don't know how they're going to interact with each other. Like, what is their banter going to feel like? And how is that going to work? It's going to be very different from past banter because they're both just in such different places. Then I need to maybe do a little bit of brainstorming. I still have one, like, this Eli chapter they don't meet, but the one after in Greer's POV is when they like have a conversation. And actually, no, I have that one too. And then after, which is crazy, 23, chapter 23 in this draft is when they start talking to each other, which I think I already am kind of, it's so funny. These are, do you want to know how the edits for Gas Station went about a year ago? I started with, okay, let me fix these plot issues and rewrite. And then I thought, I need to pull the romance forward. And then I thought, I need these two to meet and talk earlier, because it was a similar situation where they didn't really like start getting to know each other until Act 2, Part 1, which is where they're getting to know each other here too. And so I rearranged the whole beginning and I rewrote the first 7 chapters of the Gas Station to have them meet earlier. And what I ended up doing was like scrapping the original opening and writing a new one. And I don't anticipate having to like scrap a whole new opening, but just taking some of these sections and pulling them earlier. But I need to write them first. And so it's fine. And if I was like 100% certain of how I was going to do that, and like if it was really necessary, I would do it now. But I need them to play out how they're playing out in this draft first, so I can get to know who they are and like how they interact, and then see if it makes sense for them to know each other earlier. It's just funny because it's a very parallel edit. Like I'm identifying a very similar issue and making a very similar edit in a very similar way. So yeah, that's how it's going. Brielle is calling and I must go. So let's get writing.
The trees, they are singing to the tune of a song, and the wind is gently ringing the bell that brings the morning, the welcome of the dawn.
So we have about like a minute before the sprint ends up. But I finished the chapter I was on, but I've been getting a lot of recommendations for like books and shows and movies from my last 2 videos that people think would be good comps. And I so appreciate that. So if you have more of those, please let me know. And I ended up watching a bunch of trailers for like shows and movies that people thought like reminded them of like what I've been talking about in terms of like, yes, my genre mix of like romantic suspense and thriller romance and all that stuff. Romance thriller, all the variations thereupon. Yeah, so I watched some of those trailers and I think I'm building a list of like media I'm gonna start consuming. I've been watching a lot of Doctor Who recently, which is good for me, my brain, my soul. But I think I want to start consuming media that like sort of inspires the tone, since I'm kind of struggling with that. So the first thing I think I'm going to watch is Code of Silence, which is, it's like a new show. It's like a British show. But it has somebody recommended it in the comments, and it's a romantic suspense, and the main hero is like a conflicted criminal, which is very Eli coded, and so I'm gonna watch that. I'm excited to see how they do that. And then a lot of them were actually like action adventure movies from like the 90s, and so I might watch some of those as well. But thank you to anybody who did have those recommendations, and keep them coming, because I also have I buy books at the library. I buy and rent books sometimes that lend into that, but I need to start actually reading them. I own a lot of these kind of books and I just never make time to read them. So that's also part of my goal, but this break is over, so I need to bring the people back.
The voice of the robin, the call of the dove, the red leaves are falling, the barn owl is calling, the welcome of the dawn. Dogs will be howling in the early morning light. All are happy to be out in of the night.